Hello and welcome to another episode of Sports and Songs podcast. This is season 6, episode number 17. It's a sports edition. Andy, how are you?
Good, yourself?
Very good. So it's March 3rd, 2025. We've crossed over into March Madness officially, Andy. That one of the best times, one of the best months of the year, is it not?
We got high school, college hockey playoffs, basketball, high school, college playoffs, high school wrestling, gymnastics, all the other high school, college sports are wrapping up. Baseball is starting. I can't think of a better time.
It's fun. It's the madness is really beginning now. So let's start off with the trivia question. We'll get to the answer at the end of the episode, and then we'll cover some sports here this week. Here's the trivia question. Folks remember tennis greats Andre Agassi and Steffi Graf, right?
The first real power couple in sports, really.
Got married, had a kid or some children.
Yeah.
I'm not sure how many kids, but their son Jaden, very good athlete. Their son Jaden. What sport does he play right now? What sport does Jaden play? He's 23, maybe 24 years old. That'll be the answer at the end. What's
Steffi Graf, German tennis player, very, very good at her time. Very attractive gal. Andre Agassi, the long hair, the first real long-haired tennis player. On a ponytail. He was did the Canon commercials for the cameras. Had the fancy colors when he played, kind of outlandish.
Good DNA. The kids have good DNA. Let's just say that.
Yes.
Yes. All right, so we'll get to the answer at the end. In the meantime, let's kick off with some sports.
Let's kick off our new logo. There it is.
Nice.
Official.
We've gone live. It's live.
It's official. It's real. Look for the lanyards and can koozies this summer and other propaganda.
Yes.
All right. High school hockey, A, Minnesota State tournament.
This is boys.
Here we go. Here's the boys tournament. Making my pick right now. I am saying East Grand Forks. There's my upset. East Grand Forks to win it all.
Okay.
Right. You're writing that to East Grand Forks. Okay.
Got it.
The double A. Let's see who's my winner here. Anyone but Edina. Does that count? No. St. Thomas Academy will be your winner.
Okay.
So there. I made my picks. Don't bother watching. There, you already know. Spoiler alert.
The answer. Spoiler. Fun time of the year.
Big Ten hockey. Now, here's something you don't see every day. Notre Dame in a conference. But for hockey and basketball, they join conferences. It's just football. They're little bitches. Number one team, Michigan State gets a bye. So Gophers get to play the worst team, Notre Dame at 7. That doesn't mean anything. We've been known to blow the first round easily in the past. But it's Michigan, Penn State, the 4 or 5. Ohio State, Wisconsin, 3-6. Michigan State getting the bye. So there we go. Best of 3 that first round. Then it's single elimination after that.
Okay.
And the gals, they've already had one round of playoffs. They're up in the Duluth there. Quick Trip sponsored them, UFTA. So Friday we'll have the hometown team, Minnesota Duluth, against the Cheddars. And Ohio State against the Gophs. And those winners will play Saturday.
Up at Amsoil Arena.
Yes, up in the Duluth there, yeah. Go for women's basketball. I think all but like 3 teams made it because we got 20 teams in our conference now. So if you're Gophers, Washington, Rutgers, Nebraska, Wisconsin, Iowa, you got to win 5 in a row to win the tournament. And really, even if you make the championship game, you ain't making the big dance unless you win it, if you're that far back.
Yeah.
Which, no offense, that's why I don't like they go that far back on it. Because you have a sweet run, get to the semifinals, and even if you do make it, you're getting a crappy draw. So I really feel bad for those teams. But
yeah, so all the teams, all the conferences have a tournament, and they move on then after that. But
USC is going to win this tournament too, so there's another spoiler for you. All right, here we go. Rob Manfred has said he's thinking of removing Pete Rose from the ineligible list.
Okay.
It's kind of like the whole Kennedy assassination. They all die, then the files come out.
Yes.
Pete Rose dies. Now they want to put him in. Even President Trump is giving him a pardon. I think Pete Rose should be in. It's kind of it wasn't going to be a soapbox, but it's more editorial. Should Pete Rose be in my opinion? Yes. I think it's crappy they waited until he died, but let's right the wrong and put him in.
Yeah, I agree. I did like how Trump's statement did kind of reinforce the fact that things happen, but he reminded us all that he was betting on baseball, betting on his team, and always betting to win. People have to remember that.
Right. Yes, you still bet that's still wrong. It's kind of like a sin's a sin. Don't get me wrong. He did it. It was wrong. But he was doing it. Not that it makes it sound better, but he was betting on him to win. So he didn't really cost the games. But anyway, Pete Rose should be in, period. Georgia students, okay, they got a thing now. If your team rushes the court after a win, there's going to be a fine. You got to wait like 90 seconds. So there's all these videos of the kids standing at their little timers on their phones, waiting 90 seconds, and then rushing the court to avoid a $100,000 fine.
It's a little loophole.
And you know what, NCAA, I get it. Maybe I'm too old. I understand the rushing the court thing. I get that. But when it's middle of the season, it's really nothing. I don't get it. I understand it in the playoffs. Or if it's your quote-unquote rival team, I get it. But even though if it's your rival team, just celebrate outside. I could see storming the court. And how many of those people are storming the court just dancing around to be seen on TV? You know, whatever.
Probably most, yep.
Caitlin Clark, we haven't mentioned her for a couple weeks. Her and the Fever are going to do a preseason game in Iowa at the college campus there. It's sold out in 42 minutes.
Phenomenal.
The thing is the funny thing is kind of hilarious about this is that Angel Reese, some of the others are all whining about this, that Caitlin kind of had a break. This is her first real break because she had college pro right away. This season's been our first, no Caitlin in the news for a while thing for basketball. Yep. So they've had their other little 3-on-3 league for basketball going, and Caitlin's still sealing the headlines. I think that's funny. Richard Pitino's daddy, is now the first head coach in Division I history, as Denny Green would say, to win a regular season conference title with 5 different programs.
Oh my God. That's phenomenal.
I mean, he ran his course at all 5. I mean, Louisville, he was kind of run out because of controversy and scandal, but he kind of ran his term at all 5. You know, wow. To do it at 3 would be incredible. He's done it at 5. And he's not, Kentucky, Louisville, St. John's. He's not going to some crap concert or conference to win. He's going tough conferences. And you know what else? He still looks good.
Jeez. That's a great stat right there.
Okay, I saw this stat. This made me scratch my head a little bit. I need you to help me figure this one out, Dan. Okay. Percentage of inherited runners who scored in 2024. You see, the Twins had the worst one there at 41%. But yet, I look at all these charts this year and last year, I thought we had one of the best bullpens in the league. Because when they say, oh, the relievers had a low ERA, yeah, because they don't count the inherited runners that they let score. So that's why your stats, you got to watch when you read stats, people. Oh, the Twins have a great bullpen. Look how great they were. This stat's not affected in their ERA and everything else they show.
So this is inherited. So a pitcher comes in and there's already guys on base.
Yep.
And that's what this relates to. And I've never seen stats like this. It's good, though, to see something like this. It's a breakdown. But how meaningful is it is a good point.
I mean, look at Detroit, 23% of inherited runners. That's awesome. Twins, 41%. Dear Jesus.
And in 2024, Detroit had a heck of a season.
The Mets were at 34. That still kind of stinks. That was middle of the road. But 41%. So bases loaded, you come in, give up a double, 3 runs score, then you strike out the next 3. Oh, the reliever gave up 1 hit and struck out 3. But he gave up 3 inherited runners. His ERA is still 0. He gave up 1 hit, batters they're hitting 250 against him. He struck out 3. What a great job! No, he let 3 runners in before him.
Yeah, that is it's a good stat because it's a true stat. It's throw up the ERAs.
This should be thrown up there with all they got their whips and their wars and all these other stats. When a reliever comes in, what's his inherited runners percentage or ERA or something like that? Throw that number up there.
So the opposite of this would be how much of a shutdown pitcher are you to shut it down? This is the inverse. This is the opposite. How much are you not shutting it down? And that's a great stat. Your bullpen did not do well. You gave up runs.
Throw in those inherited runners on your stats. Have your ERA, then your inherited runners ERA.
Yes.
Where you include those too. And for the starting pitcher, have his ERA and then ERA of runners he let in. Not counting his inherited runners scored.
That's good.
George Clausen of the Gophers, watch for him. He's a 93 prospect in all of baseball, number 3 in the Angels organization, which, in my opinion, the opinion of this reporter, if the Angels suck as they're supposed to do this year, outside shot, you might see him up at the end of the year, if not next for sure.
Okay.
If you're the number 3 prospect in the organization and you're not going to do very well, that team's not going to do well, might see that name this year, so keep an eye for him. Big, tall, lanky son of a gun there, too.
Nice. Good for him.
All right, here we go. Baseball. 18th and 19th, if you can get up early in the morning, you can watch the Tokyo series, Cubs and Dodgers. Those 2 games will count. We'll wait 2 games there, March 18th, 19th, and come back. The May 30th is the World Series rematch. July 15th is the All-Star game. And August 2nd is the Speedway Classic at Bristol Motor Speedway.
Okay.
I did not stutter when I said that.
First time ever, right?
Here's what it's going to look like. There's the race car track, and there's where they're going to put the baseball field. Braves and Reds, 2-game series. So they'll each alternate being home team. So there you go. Now, here's a racetrack. I don't understand. Well, that's what the racetrack looks like on race day.
Okay.
You got all the semi. So that's all concrete in the middle there. So they're going to put dirt and grass and everything else there. How do you put dirt and grass on a concrete track, you say, Dan? Well, Bristol last year, they had a dirt race there, meaning they covered it all with dirt. They've done this before.
This will be interesting, I think.
And just to be safe and show you comparisons, they had a football game there, and that's what it looked like on their field. So they've had football there now. Now they're going to have baseball there. And I wouldn't be surprised if you see something like this a little more often at certain tracks.
It could take over.
Little fun games like this.
It's just random enough that it's going to pique people's interest and say, you know what? I'm going to go to see this. I'm not a big fan of either team. I'm not a baseball fan or a football fan. I'm going to see it because it's in a NASCAR stadium.
And if they take this around, if they put it at Michigan Speedway, if they put it at Daytona, but don't do it every year. Do it like every other year, every third year. Kind of rotate the stuff around so people don't get bored of it,
The tailgating scene would be one to watch. Great scene there because people are going to go just to want to do that as well.
Right.
And not even go to the event, maybe stay outside.
Well, most of the tailgating happens inside. That's the cool part. How you're going to do all that part,
Okay.
But we'll see. We shall see. That's the fun part of it all. Strange but true. The 2 highest paid players for the Washington Nationals this year don't even play for the team.
Oh, yes. I love these stats.
Yeah. This is kind of I defend. Some people say they defend and stand up for Ukraine. I stand up and defend Bobby Bonilla. Don't blame him for his $1,000,000-something a year. Here, take this.
So Andy, for the listeners out there that are not that well versed, that don't understand this, these players are not on their roster. They're playing elsewhere.
Yeah. Strasburg retired last year.
He retired.
Scherzer's got traded in 2020 as a contract. 2020, he's still making $15 a year. Not 1 point something like Bonilla is now till another 30 years or whatever the hell it is. Strasburg's going to make $23.6 million this year, and he's sitting at home doing Sudoku puzzles.
Yep.
Strasburg's playing it somewhere else, and make Strasburg getting paid by 3 different teams this year.
Oh my! So this is not like deferred, or to some extent it is.
Yeah, it was a guaranteed contract, but when they're traded,
guaranteed that were set up way at the beginning when they put the ink to pen to paper. Yep. They came up with this, and they no longer with the team for whatever reasons.
Well, like with the Strasburg contract,
our checks are still rolling in. The highest 2 players paid for the Nationals aren't even on the team.
Like with Strasburg, his contract when he got traded was probably the Nationals said, "Look, we'll still pay $15 million a year of the contract if you take the rest of it." Oh, okay, we'll pay the other $5 million a year on him or whatever, And that's what I got, man. That's my short and sweet little report.
That's good stuff.
High school wrestling finals were done. We put all that on our social media. Like I said, for high school, kind of like with track and with swimming, lots of individuals and weight classes and classes. I'm not going to list them all here right now, but tip of the cap to Watertown Mayor Lutheran, 2A champs.
The coach
Bryce and the twins each getting individual championships. So congrats, boys, and to everybody, boys and girls, this year at state for winning. Talked to some people who were down there afterwards. They said the girls' matches were incredible to watch too. Some of those gals can really go.
Well, there are some that are 3 and 4 time state champions already at this age and are phenomenal. Now, Watertown's head coaches, the top 2 coaches, Coach Class 2A Coach of the Year was Kurt Becker and Mr. Bill McDonald.
Yes, McDonald and Becker,
Coach of the Year. Great achievement, great accomplishment to win that with you're going up with teams from Simley and Becker and boy, to pull off this is phenomenal. What a fantastic season they had.
It was a great tournament all around from what I saw. I watched some of it online, followed some online, talked to people who were there. Just to head back to the Watertown Mayor stuff for the boys when they came home. Boys did not know the surprise. I've put some of the videos on our social media. I've shared from others. They had one of the limousine buses waiting for them afterwards on Saturday. So they kind of came home in style. So they didn't know that part.
Oh, yeah.
And then when they got close to town here, 2 fire trucks from Watertown, a fire truck from Mayor, and the county sheriff helped escort them through town up to Hollywood Sports Complex for the night.
See, that's
what I love about small town sports.
Everyone gets into it. It's fantastic.
And here's where I feel bad now for Shakopee. Their boys hockey was competing to go to state the same time the team wrestling was going on. So the fans were kind of split, know. Geez, we got both. Which one do we go to? And, so I feel bad congratulations to Shakopee for being in that boat. But I hate to be the staff there or the booster club, which one do you go to?
The overlap. If the teams are so good, you might get some overlap there, but that's what happens if they're good. If they're good, 2 good squads, there could overlap. But good stuff. Fun time of the year, of course. Now, trivia question, Andy.
Yes.
Tennis greats Steffi Graf and Andre Agassi.
Okay.
Married, have a child named Jaden. Jaden's 24 years old. Phenomenal athlete. What sport does he play? That's the trivia question. They both come from his parents are tennis stars. We know the obvious answer is tennis. We know it's not going to be that.
I'm going to say golf. We'll go golf. Go on a limb there.
It's not golf. It's baseball, Andy.
All right. Wow. Scared. I thought you were going to say pickleball for a second there.
He pitched USC, starting pitcher for the USC Trojans.
We'll see him here in Big Ten play.
Got into baseball. He said, he said he was good. He liked tennis. He was good at hitting the ball, but he had a hard time hitting it between the lines, hitting it kind of soft between the lines.
Tennis lines, baseball lines.
I loved hitting it as hard as I could. So he grew up as a baseball guy. Now, he played and pitched on the roster for the World Baseball Classic, the
German
qualifying team for the Germany team. Now he's a cross dual citizen.
Yep. Mom's a German. Yep.
U.S. citizenship and a German citizenship. The coach for Team Germany was light. They typically don't have many good players. Max Kepler kind of guys, but Germany's low end on the baseball scope, and they said, "Hey, get Agassi."
Yep.
He's a citizen. So they use him on the mound. He is now eligible. I think to go pro. I think his college career is done. So I think that if he gets drafted now or gets picked up free agent or whatever, you could see him in the pros or independent league, something like that. Maybe
next year in the World Baseball Classic.
Yeah. So I thought that was an interesting story. That was the trivia answer is Agassi's kid. Baseball, right-handed baseball pitcher. Very good. Not good. He's not going to be a world stopper, world league guy, but very good, talented guy. Pitching for 4 years, the D1 level. He's got some juice. Big name. That's all I got here for this week. We'll be back in with more hockey tournament, girls basketball next week for state baseball, state tournament time.
Yeah, boys basketball, pick up all that fun stuff next week.
All right, have a good week. Leave your comments behind. See ya.
Happy trails.